Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be looking at doing some sorting with some evidence cards that we have related to our wolves and our whales. Now, the evidence we're about to look at are going to help us decide where we're putting our mystery fossil. And we're going to be sorting these cards to help us figure out what structures we can use to diagnose and as diagnostic structures to pick out the best place for our mystery fossil. So first and foremost, we know that we got to figure out how can we tell if the mystery fossil is more closely related to the wolves and the whales. And the evidence today is going to help us answer that. But in order to figure out where the evidence goes, does it support whales, does it support wolves? We got to remember two important key concepts. One, among any three species, the two species that are separated most recently are most closely related to each other. So we know whoever the mystery fossil was separated from more closely. So, in other words, was it separated from the wolf or was it separated from the whale? We know that's going to be who it's more closely related to. We also know that when two species share a structure that is not shared with another, that can be evidence that they're more closely related. So if we see that there's more common shared structures with the wolves, it's going to be more closely related to the wolf. If we see there's more common shared structures with the whales, we know it will be more closely related to the whales. And we're going to keep that in mind today as we complete our activity. So how does this going to work? Well, you're going to be receiving a set of cards with information about 5 different shared body structures found in both whales and wolves. All of these structures show evidence that the wolves and whales share a common ancestor, but some cards can help us decide who's more closely related to the mystery fossil. Some of these structures are found in the cards are very similar in many ways with both wolves and whales. Other structures, on the other hand, are different enough to be diagnostic structures. So they're different enough for us to be able to say, hey, this structure goes with the mystery fossil and the whale, or this structure goes with the mystery fossil and the wolf. Okay, so we're going to see that in the information cards, in the diagrams that we're given today. So the structures that are unique to either whales or wolves are going to be your diagnostic structures. Okay, meaning if we see that there are structures that the whales have that are very different from the wolves, okay, those are going to be our diagnostic structures. How we decide if our mystery fossil is more closely related to one or the other. Okay, and if we see those uniquenesses in the structures, we know that they've changed over evolutionary time. Others, on the other hand, are going to be shared structures that have remained very similar, if not the same. So we won't be able to use those necessarily to decide if the mystery fossil is related to the wolf or the whale. So you'll work to sort the cards into 3 categories, okay? So we'll take these cards and we're going to sort them into 3 categories depending on whether the structure is found only in whales, only in wolves, or is similar enough and found in both of them. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example. So 2 cards that we're going to see deal with card B and I, and that deals with the structure of being a mammal. And we know that all whales are mammals. They give live births and they give milk to their babies when they're born. We also know that wolves are mammals as well, and that they also give live births and give milk to their babies. So these 2 cards show structures that both the whales and the wolves share. So some shared structures between them. Now, if this had said that the whales give birth to eggs, obviously they have different structures, and those would help us to be diagnostic structures. So in the next set of tasks, you're going to take the card. So I take card I, and I believe it was J. I and B. So I and B, and I would put them into the middle column that says whales and wolves have similar structures. I know that these cards are similar and they share those mammal-like structures. Now, again, if one had said eggs, so maybe the whales had given birth to eggs, those would be diagnostic structures that goes with whales, and the wolves would have a diagnostic structure that goes with mammals. So that's how we're going to sort the cards, okay? So do you feel like you understand how to compare and contrast the diagnostic structures that go with wolves and whales and the similar structures, and how to sort our 10 sets of cards? If yes, put your X in green. If it goes anywhere else, please reach out, and good luck.